So, I get mistaken for pregnant a lot. And I'll be honest with y'all, every time it happens, it does hurt all three of my feelings. This is just how I look as a person. I find it happens especially frequently at my day job. I work retail and have to deal with customers constantly asking when the due date is. Oh, approximately 9 months after conception, which has yet to happen. What gender the non-existent baby is. Excuse me, I would appreciate you not projecting your cis-normative notions of gender onto my fictional child, and, most presumptuously, putting their hands onto my belly to see if they can feel a kick. Oh, I can make you feel a kick, all right! The worst was when a customer I was playing personal shopper for resolutely refused to believe me when I assured her I wasn't pregnant. Be careful, you don't want to hurt the baby, she'd say. Nope. No baby, I replied, embarrassed as always, in spite of the fact that I really should be used to it by now. I went on helping her find things until I made the mistake of stretching to reach something on the top shelf. Don't do that! You'll hurt the baby! She cried, and insisted I fetch a male coworker to assist in getting it. My colleague abided, albeit annoyed, since he knew I was perfectly capable of reaching it myself. I went on helping her, every so often receiving commentary on how I ought to be more cautious, lest I hurt the baby. A baby that this customer could not comprehend did not exist. So after hours of enduring this, I conjured up a plan to make this nonsense stop. So, what I would do is find some high-up mannequin in need of repositioning, and while my customer wasn't looking, I, in all my childless splendor, would climb to the top of the ladder to spiffy up the poor lopsided mannequin, and as soon as I got to the tallest step of the 12-foot ladder, I would methodically trip and fall, and belly flop directly onto the solid concrete. I'd pick myself up from off the floor I'd fallen face first upon, look my customer directly in the eyes, and say, "Oh no, I sure hope I didn't hurt the baby." On opening night of my professional acting debut, I saw my rapist on the fucking L train as I headed home, beaming with the afterglow of basking in the spotlight. This night should have been a triumph, but instead I was rewarded for my first performance as a genuine downtown theater artist with a rapist sighting and a full-on panic attack. It didn't even really surprise me. It felt more like an inevitability since my paranoia and luck have, in equal parts, taught me that New York City is a tiny, tiny place. Luckily, I knew what to do. I kept listening to my music, only exponentially louder. Loud enough that it could probably be heard through my earbuds. Loud enough that I probably could have ruptured my own eardrums. I bribed myself with music that's new to me, so as an opening night gift to myself, I was listening to the Kiki and Herb Christmas album, free on SoundCloud, just putting that out there. And as I listened, I told myself, you hear this? Now, if you needed to be, you could be 10 times more manic and intense and terrifying than the music you're listening to. You're crazy, and being crazy scares people. You could scare him enough that he'd be afraid to even touch you. You could do it, and then he'd never hurt you again. It wasn't until later that I realized the gaping flaw in my brain's argument. Come on now. Remember Blanche Dubois? Crazy doesn't save people from assault. It just makes authorities dismiss accounts of rape due to mentally ill survivors allegedly being unreliable narrators. I know this, but at the time my brain wanted me to immerse myself in the cacophony and chaos and find strength in it, which I did. The song I kept on repeat on that Brooklyn-bound train went, "Girl in the snow, where do you go to find someone who will do? To tell someone all your truth before it kills you." Listen to your crazy laugh before you hang a right and disappear from sight. What do they know anyway? They'll read it in a book. What do they know anyway? They'll read it in a book tonight. One of the first people I attempted to tell about the incident was a professor, in hopes of explaining to her why I had to miss a class. Her wise, pedagogical response was to take what I told her and compare it to what she knew happened to my dead friend Sebastian, detached, as if we were fictional characters from plays she had assigned, and said, "Oh, Well, what happened to you wasn't as bad as what happened to Sebastian. As if I was attempting to compete in a game of suffering Olympics against my dead friend. Like, only one of us is still alive, so I'm pretty sure we all know who the real winner is here. What does she know anyway? She read it in a play. What does she know anyway? She'll read it in a play tonight. The first person I told about being raped was via text. He was of the mind that instead of taking a moment to recuperate as I told him I would, that the right thing to do was to drag my sorry self down to the police station to report it. He said that by not immediately bringing the case to authorities, I was complicit in my rapist's proliferation of sexual violence. That it will be my fault when other people are raped because I had the absolute audacity to exercise autonomy over my experience in the wake of losing autonomy over my body. My friend called me selfish. Selfish. What does he know anyway? He read it in text. What does he know anyway? What does he know anyway? What does he know? Anyway, I survived the train ride with my rapist just as I have survived everything. And once I got to a place of relative safety, I shrugged and thought, well, I don't want to start any blasphemous rumors. but I think that God has a sick sense of humor. And when I die, I expect to find him. Laughing. So, I'm a survivor of sexual assault, but so are most people, or at least most people I know. And unlike most of my friends, I had the good fortune of being a grown-ass adult when I was raped, so really, when you think about it, I'm pretty lucky. Especially since my delightfully fucked up brain helped me to abandon reality while it was happening. Thanks, brain, you're a real pal. One of my unfortunately uncontrollable mental illness superpowers is the cosmic ability to astral project the fuck out of Dodge, fight or flight, mental illness edition. So, while my body lay there, taking it, my mind was millions of miles away, who the fuck knows where, surrounded by cotton candy clouds, brain bundled in soft, sweet, thoughtless tranquility. It went something like this. No. Stop that! Wake up! I used to be so fucking angry at my brain for doing that. I was so mad that I was unable to stay conscious enough to fight back. But I have since realized that sometimes your fairy godmother needs to cast a spell of slumber over you until the monster's gone. Sometimes you need to sleep so that you don't die.